we're developing a hiking trail. And, well, just briefly, we were down at the river this morning, which is going to be an auxiliary trail or part of the trail from the beach to the mountains. And we were hacking away at some of the brush that was overgrown. Fortunately, Peter is not allergic to poison oak because there's a stretch of river with a lot of poison oak hanging over on the sides. So we're just going to cut that back. He is. And then wash the tools. And then he went all the way down to almost Oasis this morning just to check, because he's never been down there. So that's kind of 3/4 of the way down to the beach from where the ranch is. And so the river would be a possibility for part of the trail. So we're investigating that.
And the Japanese who are going to escape the great crash of non-natural living are going to be hiking up our little trail or finding the real trail kind of idea, environmentally speaking. Yeah.
And even during the rainy season, we can use it. We can rent out rafts and do whitewater rafting. Because it's for two days.
Fill up with water?
Well, that's the idea. Where do you think it's the river? Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, it gets like 5 feet deep, in places. And it's rushing. The water's rushing, so we could have canoes and rowboats and things like that.
You guys got great ideas. Yeah, I like that. Canoes, rowboats, steamships. Yeah, good idea.
Steamships.
It's a short season, but it's doable.
Solar powered too, craft. They're going to have those real soon now, it looks like. Yeah, that's a good one. Mm-hmm. And then we need to do some kind of mountain climbing or walking tool, or, like a skateboard or something that you can hang on to, and or I don't know, just because we're looking at the mountains behind us, so that's really nice. One thing I thought to share about the Val's landscaping here, and that he's got paths that have all kinds of branches, and it's like a tree path, really, except for it's sand and rock. And so it passes all the plantations and trees. There's a beautiful cedar tree. Cedar?
Oak tree.
Oh, this one's an oak?
No, this is a coral tree.
Yeah, the coral. Right. And I've been told that it was planted with a very small plant, maybe 2 feet tall.
Yeah, just a little sprig.
Twig or twig. And
Sprig.
and now it has expanded to about 50 feet tall. Mm-hmm. And with all kinds of offsprings all over the place. And that's what happens when the seeds are planted. I remember my friend Shannon in Oregon told me about the songs, and she says, yeah, I believe in that. Use the term I believe, but she means is that there were seeds, the exemplary of the seeds, and how that expands naturally in nature. Some people use these kinds of places that they do their little spiritual walks, and that's nice. It's not necessary, of course, but it is good to do some form of, let's say, well, I don't know what term you call it, a contemplative thing. But an example was when we were in the hiking group, there were 3 of us, and one of at least one, probably all three at some point, are rather talkative. And so sometimes I would walk ahead or something and get into that. There's a place that is like quiet, and you're by yourself, and you have that sense of observation at the same time that you're doing something. But it's there's no pace, there's no time. So it's a timeless thing, spaceless thing, really, too, which is what we mean when we kind of walk off into the unknown. So the picture we took of Val walking off with Scott into the distance beyond creation, it's the idea to present about that. And I noticed at the end of the hike, when we got back, we got out of the car, or this was a different day that we were together. We were at near the beach path, and we got out, and all of a sudden it was like just two of us walking, and it was back in that space came back. There was no need to talk or say anything, basically, or it was just being with that, and that was the, that's a good thing for people to know about and to be aware of. It's like even when you're in crowds of people, because that allows us to observe where we are, and we may then be, there's two things that happen, at least for me. One is that people or things will start to come into my observation or presence or wherever I am, and it's opportunities, meeting people, talking with them, or something to share or to be a part of that we wouldn't necessarily notice if we're busy with our own heads and our own thing. So that's within any framework, down at the market, and to keep observing for or maybe becoming a conduit or whatever. In other words, people will be attracted to you or us also, and they'll want to know. They may not know what they really are attracted to, but that's kind of the thing, is you kind of find out what it might, because they have that sense. You can identify those people that have more of the openness or the listening or all those terms of what it could be, inquisitiveness, etc. So just to finish with the hike with Scott and our third hiker, the third seer, there was a sign, like I mentioned, it said 3 trace vistas. So I thought that meant that it was pointing to, we are the 3 seers, that is, on the hike. The 3 seers were hiking and making our way beyond creation. So I thought, so that sign also said 5 Billion Stars Ranch, or Trace Vistas Ranch is what it's called. And they have a TV thing. Now they have some kind of TV thing. It said WTV. So they have some kind of an outlet what they're presenting, and those people are doing something. Mm-hmm. We need to go, talk with them, or find out. So that's one of those things when you keep yourself open. One of those things that I saw on the hike, and Dow saw other things. Everybody saw stuff and said, "Look here, there," and it relates to one more thing that had to do with awareness, because I noticed that I was doing something and I didn't notice something right in front of me, like a branch or something. Let's say I was cutting that I should have cut. It was right in front of me, really clear, but I didn't see it. and this happens, you could call it senior moments or stuff, but, that noticing that I'm not noticing is a good thing to do, because there you're seeing your real awareness. And so it's good to see in ourselves that we're not doing something, or not capitalizing on everything that's available to us, or doing something completely instead of just do it, partially. But, there's no how-to way to do this. None, you don't have to do everything perfectly or completely every time. And so we built a trail that we did this morning, and that was done step by step. There's one step at a time, and we're not done at all, but made a lot of progress, so we could maybe walk impeded on the trail for a good long way. That's a really good, because now they're opening up the way. One finish I meant to say about what I said to Scott was, because he said that he was born in the year of the snake, or he was a snake, we call it, but you could see that in his face and his intention and his attitude, and he's very intense. And you can see he's always on his guard, kind of thing, like a snake, ready to coil, and he's coiled. And so he's always looking for and observing his world in that sense, and talking about it. He saw this, he sees that, and he wants to express himself that way, which is a lot of people do, myself included. Not necessarily to the benefit of others, because they, they may already know that, or whatever could be distracting. It is distracting a lot. I found that if I went on that framework of talk that was being shared with him, I would be taken off. I saw it come very clearly, get taken off my own, where I am and what I'm kind of focused on. So, yeah. And so I said to him, you can get rid of that now. You don't need that anymore. You've had it for lifetimes, and you've needed it. And we talked about being a warrior and stuff like that. And he said, yeah, I've had plenty of that, slash and burn, whatever, and each of us has his own, so, it's not like everybody's exactly like that, or not at all, could be not much like that, and so forth and so on. But did you say about the other thing that happened yesterday?
Yesterday.
Yeah. There was Val had a former family member.
What are you talking
Yeah.
about? Okay.
Yeah. She died yesterday morning. And that was very sudden. We both knew her for 40 years. And so we were talking, and DUANE was sharing also about okay, she's moving on, and this and that and the other, and she's still around, or there's other things that were being shared. So if DUANE wants to share any more about his view on that one, it's cool, of course. I mean, I'm not anybody, but there's something to the ultimate thing, that we're all not really separating when somebody passes on. They're just going somewhere else. It's part of the field that we're still a part of. We're all on. We're with on the real side, and there's nothing to it. So, and certainly nothing to fear, and be concerned for that soul and all that stuff. Yeah. So, I don't know. Anything else you want to? Thank you, guys.
Yeah, and I'll just add that, about the trail, I was chuckling the other day as I was thinking, my dad was a civil engineer, and he built roads in this country of Latvia, the little northern European country of Latvia. He's a road builder, and here I am interested in hiking trails. And then there's my son in the Bay Area. He does trail maintenance for the Open Space District, clearing trails and using chainsaws and weed whackers and, irrigation, channeling water, etc., etc. So it's kind of generational here. So anyway, there's also the opportunity for people on the trail to see these different, what we'll be creating, at least I like to create, is like permaculture, agroforestry environments. Agroforestry is like using trees as the main crop, and then having crops in between or randomly spaced, and or wildlife like ducks or geese, chickens involved, all related in in synchronicity there, they're helping each other, support each other in the environment. Same with permaculture, where every system supports the next system. It's kind of like nature. Hey, like nature. So that would be on the side trips, or along the trail itself. We'll have ecosystems like that going on. We'll create those, as well as what DUANE likes, the hydroponics installations, growing food a lot more efficiently and easily for people involved, and also highlighting the stores and the people, the organic farmers, and the people involved in doing something beneficial for the planet. There's a lot of people on the trail that we can hit up for that and relate to, and I think they're going to be on board with what we're doing. So far, so good.